Hey beautiful souls, welcome to today's soul chat. So today we're going to tie everything together from the last few weeks. We've talked about separation from the creator, we've talked about energy being contagious and moving from low vibe energy to high vibe energy and what that means. We've talked about the old frequency versus a new frequency, the shifts between both, what that does for our reality. We've talked about, we've even stepped into talking about different themes around just our state of being and feeling safe. And today I want to tie it all together because I want to talk about why it's important for you to know this, like the practical behind all of it, right? We spend so much time trying to figure out how we are different. What sets us apart? What makes us different? What is our brand? What is our identity? What sets us apart from the other person? What sets us apart from even God at sometimes, right? Because we're so grounded in this thought of, I need to create my brand, I need to create my identity, I need to create who I am, who am I? And like, when you dive into this question, who am I? It actually brings you closer to not only God, but to everybody else. There's this unifying feeling, emotion that comes within you, and you start to realize that everything's connected and you're connected to everybody else and everyone is one. There's this oneness that comes through us. And that's what I want to talk about today. We've talked about oneness before. I've talked about the law of oneness. I've talked about, different scriptures, ancient knowledge around oneness and things that you could read about. But today I want to talk about it from the thought process of how do you apply oneness into your daily life. So the first step is to bring awareness, right? Like anytime you start to think that you're separate from somebody, or you're separate from God, you're separate from the creator, you're already starting to allow space between you and the creator, creating a way for that darkness to come in, right? And when I say darkness, it's not to scare you anything. It's just the best English term I can find in the dictionary that describes that void. It's just a darkness. And when you allow that darkness, you allow things like lack and things like victim mindset and things like feeling like not enough and feeling like you're not worthy to come into your life. And you start to go into a mode of maybe even comparing yourself to others, right? So then you start to go through judgment and you start to say, oh, well, I'm better than that person, or oh, like that person doesn't have this, because that makes your ego feel better, right? All of this is not making you feel safe. It's actually taking you the other way. You're actually feeling a lot less safe when you allow that space to be created and that darkness to come in. So in actuality, you have to go the other way. You have to allow yourself to believe. And it's not even a belief. Like, I'm going to pause there. It's like just a knowing. It's actually a knowing and a remembrance of like, we're not separate from each other. We're not different from each other. And yes, we may look different and we may say different things and we may have different walks of life, but we're actually one. We actually mirror each other. Whatever is going on in your life is probably a mirror into my life if I actually looked close enough, right? And if I just stopped and didn't judge you and just looked at myself in the mirror that you're shining on me, I could probably be like, okay, those are parts of me I need to heal to become closer to the creator. Because ultimately, the only thing that our soul wants is to be closer to the creator. The only thing that our soul is really, 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 really craving is that light. And that light is the creator. That light is God. And that light is you too, right? It's also you remembering that you're not separate from the creator. You're not different from the creator. You're not separate from God. You feel like you are right now because you have all of this lack within you, but you're not separate. You're actually one. And the meaning of life is really that remembrance, is really that path that we walk on to become closer. It's the undoing, the unlearning of all of the things that we think life is about to take us back to that relationship to God. And so how do you use this day to day, right? How do you use this practically? So the first step is the awareness, is to be aware of your state of being, your state of mind. The second one is to ask yourself, do I feel separate from the Creator right now? Am I allowing darkness to come in? Then ask yourself, where is this darkness coming in from? What is it? Witness it. And then you have a conversation with it. You meet it with love. Because if we were to say that we're the same as God, and we are God, which we are the Creator looks at everything with love, with compassion, with kindness. It doesn't judge, right? And so we have to come from the same place at looking at our shadows and looking at that darkness within us. And that process can be a very long process. So I'm not saying like maybe you do it today and like tomorrow you're not going to feel it. It might take you months, it might take you years even to go through just shining the light on the darkness. But the more you do it, the more you feel safe. And then from there, to really feel into your body and to tell yourself that you're safe, and just do some active breathing, because your nervous system will now feel into this space of like, okay, there is space here between me and the Creator, but I am safe and I am working on finding my way back and choosing to see life from the way that the Creator sees life, right? That's the next step. So taking away the pressure that you may have of living life, living your day-to-day, doing all the things, all the mundane tasks that you might have to do. And as a mom, we have a lot of tasks. The laundry, the cooking, the dishes, the taking care of the child, picking them up from school, dropping them off from school, maybe doing some playtime with them, taking them to play dates, whatever it is. Like, there's a lot of things as a mom that we do with our kids. And if you're in the phase of pregnancy, many things that you're doing. You're going to the doctor, you're going for checkups, you're making sure you're eating right, you're making sure you're keeping up with your diet and nutrition, you're making sure you're moving and you're exercising so the baby gets enough oxygen. So many things from the day that you are trying to conceive to the day that you actually have a baby. There's so many things that we do as a mother, and it's exhausting at times. And at times when we're exhausted and frustrated, we feel so far away from the Creator, and we have so much space between us and the Creator. But in those moments, I want you to bring awareness, take a few breaths, and just connect with the Creator. Let the light from the Creator shine within you and within those spaces of darkness, and meet it with love and see what happens then. I'm going to leave you with that. We'll be back with another topic next week in Soul Chat, but let me know how that resonates. And if you do try these exercises out, leave a comment so I can continue this conversation with you. I love you all so very much. Peace, love, and light. Namaste.